big in South Africa. Basically wrapping your baggage in saran wrap.
Just really prevents people that handle the luggage from having access into your bags.
Yeah, you could see all those bags over there are wrapped in saran wrap. But I don't know, I think it's kind of a gimmick because I know that at one point South Africa was known for getting your bags or like things from your bags stolen, but now I feel like they're profiting from it, like they have that reputation.
Sure.
And so they actually charge you for each bag, and it's kind of
50
expensive.
Rand, which is what in the US? Almost $10,
$7
right?
or $8 per bag, yeah. I am so upset right now. South Africa is a beautiful country filled with beautiful people, and it's known for a lot of really great things, but it's also known, unfortunately, for its crime. I know up until this point I've been really lucky because I've never had anything stolen, but then yesterday when Tim and I were stuck at the airport, OR Tambo, for 6 hours, I was put on standby for the flight Tim was already checked in for. It was to Port Elizabeth, his hometown, and we decided to check in our big luggage, but they told us if you don't make the flight, the luggage has to be offloaded. And we said, okay, we were just so tired, we didn't want to have to lug our luggage all around the airport, which is like multi-levels, and you know, the elevators are really small and you have to wait in line forever. And so we checked in our luggage. We didn't make the flight, but then they still sent our luggage to PE. It had to be sent back to Johannesburg. It arrived last night, and then the airport sent it to our hotel today. It's British Airways. And as soon as we got our luggage, I looked through all of my things, and it's like, ugh, I don't want to be mad the rest of this trip, so I need to let it go, but it does help to talk about it. I wanted to wear those shorts today. What the heck? Hi!
Hello.
Now that we're back from South Africa, we've been back in Taiwan for a little over a week. We've recovered pretty much from jet lag. I'm also kind of back on a normal sleeping schedule. And we wanted to just reflect on getting things stolen from our luggage at OR Tambo International Airport in Johannesburg. And in doing that, we wanted to share some tips. Some of the things we learned. Some of them are really obvious. So like the first tip is just don't put any jewelry or electronics in your checked-in luggage. That may sound really obvious, but actually when we went to the police station to report our lost items, the first thing they asked us was, you know, did you have any electronics stolen? Did you have a laptop? And I'm assuming they only ask those questions because some people put their laptop in their checked-in luggage, or they put valuable jewelry in their checked-in luggage. So
almost any electronic device, you know, something even small like an MP3 player could get taken. My international adapter for plugs was taken. So even something as simple as that.
Yeah, so I think if there were anything more valuable than an adapter, I'm sure it would have been taken. So everything, like my curling iron, all of my costume and fashion jewelry, which actually isn't valuable, but I like it. I put all of that in my carry-on luggage, and that does mean it's a little bit heavier, but at least I have those things which are more expensive and more difficult to replace.
You definitely want to use some of these cable ties. Very simple to use. You just wrap them through your zippers and close them, and then basically, I mean, they're not impossible to open up. You could even snip them up with a pair of scissors, but anything that would add time to someone trying to break into your bag is a help or a benefit to you. So yeah, use these.
Yeah, and what I did on the way back was I doubled these up, so I put two. I used a lock and I used two cable ties. So yeah, if you're able to create more challenges to opening up your bag, then that will help you. And then our next item is to use a TSA lock. Somewhere on the lock it should say TSA, so you can see on the bottom here it does say TSA. These are a little bit more expensive. I got, I think, a set of two on Amazon for maybe $10 or $12. And they're going to be more expensive if you go to the drugstore or the supermarket or Target or something. But these are good because if you're traveling to, from, or through the US, these are actually the only locks that you can put on your bag that won't get broken, because I guess TSA agents all have a master key to these locks. So they're good when you travel abroad, because I think they're more difficult to open. Tim's a little bit skeptical, but
Yeah.
I mean, the lock was picked, but I don't think it was picked all that well, because this does work a little bit funny now. Sometimes it gets stuck. So even if you don't have a TSA lock, it's good to have something on the zipper just to prevent people from being able to easily unzip your bag. And then of course if you have one of these, then it's acceptable to airports in the US, so that makes it convenient.
Yeah. Another means of protecting your bag would be to have it wrapped in cling wrap.
Yeah, you can you can pay to have that service done at airports in South Africa. You saw earlier in this vlog that there actually protect your bag stations all throughout airports in South Africa, not only in Johannesburg, but for example in Port Elizabeth as well. You have to pay to do that. I've seen in other countries, for example in China, people do it themselves at home. You just buy cling wrap or saran wrap and just wrap your bag up.
Yeah.
But of course when you're traveling through certain countries, I believe in the US, they don't always leave your bag intact wrapped up. They'll probably cut it open. But that seems to be a very good deterrent in a lot of African countries, because you can immediately see if your bag has been opened. Our last tip is to not leave your bag overnight at OR Tambo Airport in Johannesburg. They do have a service where you can pay to store your luggage for a couple hours or even a couple days, like a lot of international airports have, but
Still wouldn't recommend that.
we don't recommend that, because we're pretty certain that the person who broke into our bags did it when we left our bags overnight for just one night, because the person was very particular about the items he or she took, and it's pretty clear that this person went through everything, because like I said in the vlog, when we got our bags back, everything was disheveled, all the clothes were just piled, and it looks like someone threw our things back in the bag after taking them all out. So you need time in order to do that, and if you don't want to catch the attention of colleagues or security or supervisors, I mean, the best time to do that is the middle of the night when the airport's quiet. So we recommend that if you can, if you have the energy to do so, that you go back to the airport to pick up your bags. For example, if they're delayed coming into Joburg, or if they've been sent to another destination and have to be sent back to Joburg. We were just so exhausted after traveling internationally for 24 hours, so we got complacent. But I feel like if we had gone back that evening, because we actually did go back that evening, we went to Spur at the airport for dinner, and then we just assumed, they said they're going to deliver the bags tonight, so they will, but we should have checked, and if we had collected our bags that night, I think everything would have been okay. In the end, the items that were took, they add up to just over $100, so that's something to be thankful for. It's all replaceable, but it still does put a damper on the start of your holiday.
Yeah, it doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth. Yeah.
So these are our tips, and also the airport in Johannesburg is notorious. At first I assumed it was all airports in South Africa, but when I did a little bit of research online, I found out that it's actually pretty exclusive to OR Tambo Airport, all of the theft from bags. Like, they have cases daily, like dozens of cases of theft on a daily
average
basis.
of about 40 cases a day almost.
Yeah, and so that adds up to thousands in a year. So we're not the only ones, and if this has happened to you, you're not the only one, but hopefully these tips will help keep our belongings a little bit safer in the future. Safe travels. Happy travels.
Catch you later. You gotta do my hair.
No, it looks great. It's not permed. Someone yesterday asked if Timmy has a perm.
Yeah.
But can we share this ottoman?